You tell that like this was the same year I think Full House came out or around TGIF with what was that other one with Urkel?
Family Matters.
Yeah. Oh god. Oh, hold on. There's someone here that says I miss TGIF. Get out.
Yes.
Go. Get out of here. Leave.
Nope. Nope. Stay. Stay.
Lights, camera, and action. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? We're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Let's get ready to join Anna and Jimmy as they go back and watch those movies you remember being oh so awesomely good. Horror movies that scared. Comedy movies that dared. And action movies so preposterously ludicrous that they defied the laws of common sense. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
You're on mute, my friend.
Did you make out my F word?
Yeah, I did actually.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. I was sitting here waiting as the timer was going down, like da 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 da. I'm like, what am I forgetting?
And
I'm
I
like,
was sitting here like for like 5 minutes, and I was like, "Where is he? Where's?"
I've been down here for like 20 minutes, and I was trying to get some stuff ready, and I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go. What? I feel like I'm forgetting something. You watched the Mighty Ducks trailer,
I did.
and you thought you were gonna like the movie.
Yes, I thought I was gonna love it still.
Okay, I watched the trailer, and I'm like, wow. It reminded me very 90s, very
Oh,
90s.
100%. 100%. Like
So
I mentioned to I actually made a note at one point, and I was like, "This movie is so 90s." I actually wrote that down
oh
because
yeah,
that's how 90s this movie is,
oh
and
my
I'm not
god,
mad about it.
no. All right, well let's watch the trailer again, and for the people watching, hopefully you watched the movie or
This is for
remember
the
it quite
people
well.
watching.
Yeah.
30-0, I remain undefeated.
Trial lawyer Gordon Bombay never lost a case
What about the Fraser case?
We don't count that one.
Why?
Because I scored with the court reporter.
until the night the law caught up to him.
Breath, blood, or urine.
No thanks, I'm full.
Plead guilty and you're looking at 6 months minimum.
He has agreed to suspend your case.
Under what conditions?
500 hours of community service.
Your assignment has already been decided.
Hockey?
Walt Disney Pictures presents Emilio Estevez,
I hate hockey and I don't like kids. I'm the new coach.
It was supposed to be a pep talk.
Quiet.
and the world's worst, most uncontrollable
Get off the roof, you little monkey.
hockey players.
Anybody could beat these pansies.
You almost hit me that time. Goldberg, you're the goalie. It's supposed to hit you. Does that sound stupid to anyone else?
They can't skate,
You really suck.
Thank you for sharing that.
they can't shoot,
Keep swinging, maybe I'll give him a cold.
and they can't count.
How many fingers am I holding up?
You wouldn't know that anyway.
Let's forget the past.
Now, Gordon is determined to turn them around,
Back to basics.
determined to teach them the game,
Hockey.
determined to try anything
Ready.
Oh man, I'm gonna die.
Hey.
to make them a team.
I am Goldberg, the goalie.
Mighty Ducks. Let's have fun out there. Let's fly.
The Mighty Ducks.
Hey, coach. Coach, come on. Don't leave me hanging like this.
All right, so there is the trailer for Every Time. It comes at a runtime. I'm of about an hour and 43 minutes. All right, so we have not. I have not looked at anything. I'm so
Neither have
this
I.
Is, this is why I wanted to do it this way because I want to be pleasantly surprised, just like everyone else.
Ooh, Stefan Roberts or Robert, I don't know, says it's a good movie, but only the first one. Interesting. We can touch on that later because there are sequels to this, and then
Yeah,
this
there's a
TV
few of them.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had a budget between $10 and $14 million.
Mm,
Okay.
that's not bad.
No, it's actually kind of. So the Mighty Ducks came out in 1992 on October 2nd, 1992. It had. Yeah, let me share this. Sorry.
It's okay. We forgive you.
Sure. Made 50 million domestic, no international. 50 million, but 10, 14 million. Bit advertising, so it made some money. No, it didn't burn the box office.
No, but it made a decent profit.
Yeah.
That would definitely be a very decent profit.
So on its first weekend, it came in second with $6 million. Behind Last of the Mohicans. I remember liking that movie.
Oh,
But ahead of Mr. Baseball, which I also remember liking.
I don't think I've seen Mr. Baseball.
With Tom Selleck. No, where he goes to
No, I don't think
Japan.
I have.
Huh.
Oh, wait. Yes, I have seen that.
He's kind of washed up in the States, and they send him to
Yeah.
Japan. Yeah, I
Oh my
remember that.
God.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
I don't think I've seen that since the early 90s.
Yeah.
And until you said Tom Selleck in Japan, I had completely forgotten that this movie existed.
Sneakers. It was one of my favorite movies with
So good.
Sidney Poitier, Dan Aykroyd,
Mm-hmm.
Robert Redford, River Phoenix.
Yes, that's who
Yeah.
I was trying to. I was like, it
Mr.
was a
Saturday
Phoenix.
Night, Billy Crystal, Captain Ron. I remember liking that movie too. I don't think it's as good as I remember though.
I was not that big of a fan of Captain Ron.
Glengarry again. Oh, there's School Ties. So yeah, it opened at number second, and then it went to third, fourth, fifth, seventh, and 10th. So it did okay.
That is a pretty good showing.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah,
especially for a kids movie, because you got to remember, especially back then, they weren't the greatest. Like, unless it was animated, you weren't getting like the huge box office. You were getting really decent box office, but not like record breaking.
Yeah. All right. Well, let us go to. It's the first time I'm looking at the reviews. All right, The Mighty Ducks, October 2nd, 1992, 1 hour and 41 minutes, and it is a kid and family comedy, and it was rated PG. Oh,
oh my.
27% from the reviewers, but 65% and over 250,000.
Yeah.
Something tells me this is a lot of people that were kids in the 90s have come back to Rotten Tomatoes and reviewed it.
I could see that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not there are some parts that feel very 90s family entertainment, but I don't really mind that because it's executed so well. 7 out of 10, Rachel Wagner. It's practically stuff of resistance these days for a film's hero to learn wisdom from children about the purity and beauty of honor and play and radical acceptance despite winning or losing. And Travis Synapse. A pleasing
I was just going to say, Elliot Panic said a lighthearted classic kid sports movie.
That's fair. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. TV Guide, harmless enough, but its schematic retread of a screenplay and its lethargic acting detracts from the unassuming, passable entertainment it might have been.
That feels like too many big words for this movie.
Yeah. This might not have been your movie, TV Guide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're looking for Casablanca. Like, that's a very different genre.
Yeah. Yeah. This is The Mighty Ducks.
Although Derek Adams of Time Out did say it was a very lame ice hockey flick. So,
Yep.
I mean, there's that.
Yeah. And then we have Scott Weinberg. Kids Play Hockey, Part 1, 2 out of 5. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The critics really were not thrilled.
No, even Roger Ebert said it must be said that this movie is sweet and innocent, and that at a certain level it might appeal to younger kids. I doubt if it's ambitious reach much beyond that. 2 out of 4.
I mean, valid.
Yeah. IMDb 73,000 comes at 6.6.
Not bad. Pretty much on par with the viewer ratings
Yeah.
from Rotten Tomatoes.
And if we go to, are you on IMDb?
I am.
All right. If you want to find a 10, do you know how to do that?
Yeah, I'm here already.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking
For a good one.
I'm looking for a good one. I mean, I'll give this one 10 out of 10 for a 90s classic that never ages. From M. Holmes.
Yeah, I have a 9 out of 10. A really good movie. Best of the trilogy from Seven Crazy to Film Approaches. What the dude? Seven Crazy to Film Approaches. Sure. Yeah,
Ooh,
when you get like 9, 10, 8, there's always like they're weird. They're
yeah.
weirdos.
8 out of 10. We've got Predictable, but it is a sweet and fun movie. That's from The Little Songbird.
Is to hockey what Little Big League is to baseball. 7 out of 10. Zicone Dog.
Predictable, but still charming. 6 out of 10. And that is from Red Band 02. I'm sorry, I gave you an extra D.
I have the Bad News Bears on Ice from Vertigo 14. And then right below it was Not the Bad News Bears from Fat Cat 7, prisoner number 73450.
For 4 out of 10, you've only got 2 choices.
Hmm.
One is typical of this genre, which I mean, valid. This is a very formulaic movie. And the other one is Quack.
That, oh, yeah. Quack. I only got one for 3, and it's the Mighty Ducks. Thanks, Jay Booth Miller.
There's only one for 2, and it comes from Rebel Jen, and her review is annoying and lacking.
And I got 1 for 1 out of 10. Skates on Thin Storytelling.
Ooh,
Anaconda, prisoner number 40658.
that was a good one, Anaconda 40658. I like that.
Yeah.
Skates on Thin Storytelling.
Okay, so did you want to hear the Mighty Ducks taglines?
I'd love to, actually. I want to know what they tagged this with.
All right. There's only 2 of them. He's never coached. They've never won. Together, they'll learn everything about winning. Oh God.
That's terrible.
Did you tell that like this was the same year I think Full House came out or around TGIF with what was that other one with Urkel?
Family Matters.
Yeah. Oh God. They can't skate, they can't win, they can't be serious. Yeah.
That's stupid. Also, Full House came out in 1987.
Really?
Yeah, apparently.
It felt like it was on forever.
Well, wait. We're checking out Family Matters. Family Matters came out in 1989. So just on the cusp of the 90s. I think that's why. Mind you, I think TGIF, that Friday night lineup,
Yeah.
was definitely 90s. Like they did that
Oh
in
yeah.
the 90s.
Yeah. All right. So, what was your initial reaction to the movie?
My initial reaction is it was a very nostalgic, very sweet, very young movie. Like, I really thought about it and I was like, I would have seen this as a teen. Now, I have a special place in my heart for sports movies.
Oh, hold on. There's someone here that says I miss TGIF. Get out.
Yes.
Go. Get out of here. Leave.
Nope. Nope. Stay. Stay. Stay, Cheese Toast, because I miss TGIF
You
too.
watch Full House and Urkel.
Okay, Family Matters, I loved. But then also there was the show Step by Step. It was about a blended Suzanne Summers
And the guy
and
from Dallas.
yes, and it was terrible acting. But my God,
Not
was
JR
that
from
show no.
Dallas. He
It
would
was
have beat the kids. It would
oh
have been
God,
a
it
very
was
different show. Would have
it
been a
was
drama on
Duff
HBO.
something.
Patrick
Oh,
Duffy.
that's it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So Patrick Duffy, but it was okay, Full House was your favorite. I loved Full House, but then I tried to rewatch it and I could not do it.
Oh, my
No matter
teeth
how
hurt
cute
just
Uncle
thinking
Jesse
about it.
was. I was like, I can't. Sorry, Cheese Toast just quoted something from Step by
Stop
Step.
reliving TGIF.
It's a Canadian quarter from Canada. Americans still occasionally say that. Anyways,
I did
but
not
yeah,
watch any of those shows.
God bless. Good for you.
Yeah.
It's so Mighty Ducks was definitely very sweet, very innocent, and it came out in 1992. I was this movie actually came out 2 days after my 12th birthday. And I was thinking about this because I would have seen it a couple years afterwards. So when I was in my mid-teens, and I was like, I would have watched it at like 14, 15. And I love sports movies and I love it when the underdogs win. So I think that helped my love for this movie. But when I was watching it, I was like, I would not expect preteens to watch this. 8, 9, 7-year-olds, yeah, 100%. 12, 13-year-olds, probably not.
I did not remember a lot about this movie. I remembered a couple things. I love Emilio Estevez. Emilio Estevez had some of my favorite movies from the 80s and 90s, like Breakfast Club. I
Yes.
mean,
Breakfast Club, Young
but
Guns.
I still watch Young Guns. Oh my God, Young Guns 2, Free Jack, and Judgment Night, and he made a lot of good movies.
Mhm.
But when I did start watching this movie, I'm like, oh yeah, because they were talking about they were bringing a Mighty Ducks team to Anaheim, Walt Disney.
Yes.
And so this was not a favorite of mine. This was not, I do not remember. I didn't hate this movie, but it was not my thing because I'm a
Yeah.
couple years older than you and I was a preteen. Yeah, just
You would have been a
became
teen.
a teen.
Yeah.
And this was not for me. Fortunately, I was watching this with my youngest daughter, a
Ah,
7-year-old. So it was a little different. So my initial thoughts was, it was very sweet. Like almost my teeth were aching.
yeah.
Sweet.
There are a lot of lessons learned in this by everyone.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, I love a good moral to the story. I do.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of morals that were learned in this one.
Yeah. All right. Those are our initial thoughts. All right. It's time to go over the movie.
You heard them. Movie time. Let's all go to the lobby and get ourselves a treat. And then watch a classic kick-ass movie from whenever the one we're about to watch was made.
Gonna have to change that a bit.
Why?
Because we're not watching the movie. Let's review.
Yeah.
Let's go over the movie.
It feels like we're watching it though in our minds.
Yeah. I don't want to watch it again. And there was no reality to this movie at all.
Oh no.
When it comes to hockey, the stuff they were doing, you could not do that in real hockey games. I don't care
Not a
how
chance.
yeah.
No.
Some kids weren't wearing fucking helmets.
Yeah. They had magazines taped to their legs. I'm like, nobody, no Pee Wee League would let any kid get on the ice not equipped. It's asking for a lawsuit.
Oh God. Yeah. Now there were a lot of actors and like we were talking about Emilio Estevez there.
Yes.
But what was it? I put it on the Milf Destroyer. What's his name?
Are you talking about Joshua Jackson?
That's it from Dawson's Creek there.
The Milf Destroyer.
And I just watched Eldon Henson, who played Fulton.
Yes.
Who didn't grow from this movie. Like he was that big in 1992 and he did not grow an inch since then because he's quite small now compared. I just watched the new preview for the new Daredevil coming out.
Yes.
Which actually looks surprisingly quite good.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah. And then it also had MC Gainey, the guy who drove the
Yes.
And then there were a lot of faces that I recognized.
Yep. Lane Smith. We've seen him on television all over the place. God, there were quite a few. Who else was? There were quite a few people that I was like, oh, I know that guy.
The girl that played Connie, she's been in a couple of things that I've seen. Heidi Kling has been in quite a few things. And then
quite a few of the kids.
Yeah. Actually,
kept acting a little bit. Some of them not as much as others.
No, I think Joshua Jackson and Eldon Henson probably be the most.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of them had some issues.
Yeah, what they do.
Sean Weiss, God bless. He had some issues, but he's coming out the other side. Jesse Smollett, I learned this right now. He played one of the Hall brothers. Uh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and he had his trials and tribulations, literally trials, a few years ago when like he was accused of faking an attack or something, like being attacked and assaulted. So
Oh,
there's
was that
that.
him?
That's him.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh shit, you were a Mighty Duck?"
That's where I know him from. Oh, the kid who played the brother, Brandon
Yeah.
Quinton Adams, People Under the Stairs. The fool, his name is Fool in the show. The little black kid that's
Yeah, man.
trapped in the house.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in Moonwalker with Michael Jackson. Yeah.
He's done a lot of work. He had a very, very big career, and he comes from the family of incredible talent. His sister is Journey Smollett, who you have seen from when she was a child growing up on television and in movies. So talented.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go over this movie. Gordon Bombay is a successful but arrogant Minneapolis defense attorney. Okay, before that, we see Gordon we see
As a child.
Gordon as a child get ready for that penalty shot, and his fucking coach. This is something I would say to my kid. Now, if you don't score, you're not just letting your team down, you're letting me down, you're letting your dead dad down. He's gonna cry in heaven. And this poor kid, then he's like, okay, go get the goal.
Yeah. Like talk about pressure. And I was like, oh, actually, it was funny because the very first note I wrote was toxic coach. That tracks.
Yeah. But look, he
And
made
I
him a
forgot
man.
about those beginning scenes. Like I knew he gave up hockey, but I was like, why was it? And it's basically, you're gonna be the next great one. But if you miss this penalty,
Yeah. You're
you
not.
shouldn't even you should just die because terrible. And
We
I was
need
like,
more
ooh, a
coaches like
toxic
that
hockey
now.
coach. Who would have thought? I hear
Yeah.
they're getting better now though.
Yeah, maybe.
Buddy, I don't play hockey, but I have friends who have kids who play hockey, and my friends would not let any fool talk to their kids like that. So I'm like, maybe the coaches are getting better. But in the 80s and 90s, this is what a hockey coach would have sounded like.
Yeah. And that's why the players back then were men. Even if they were 9 or 10. They made them men.
And they were being filled with toxic masculinity and misogyny and racism. Super fun.
Right, yeah.
Super fun.
It was great. More toxic masculinity.
Let's worsen men's mental health. Yeah. Patriarchy.
It's just so easy to make men cry now. They're
I
such
mean,
betas.
I have a special skill for that. I can make pretty much anyone cry. I try not to, though. I really try not to. Sometimes it just comes out. I'm sorry. But anyways, yes. So we see the toxic coach. We see Minnie Bombay.
Oh, you were
miss
being
the shot.
sarcastic
What?
about the toxic coach.
No, I was being very serious. Toxic coach. Which was apparently
No,
the
you were like
standard.
going, yay, and I thought you were
Yeah.
being serious. Okay.
No,
You're being
we
sarcastic.
don't encourage toxic coaches.
Oh, okay.
Enough of us have childhood trauma. We don't need to add our extracurricular sports into the trauma fold. But anyways, so toxic coach, Minnie Bombay misses the goal.
Misses it, drops to his knees, starts
He
crying.
Literally gives up hockey
Gives
because
up
he's like,
hockey.
I need to not live in the hockey world anymore because I missed one shot.
Yeah, my dad's now going to hell because I missed the goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
After his 30th successful case, he celebrates by going out drinking. This was funny. I don't condone drinking or driving, but this was a very funny scene. This was probably one of the funniest adult scenes when he's asking, okay, you're coming down to the precinct. What do you say? Breath, urine, or blood?
Breath, urine, or blood. And he
Yeah.
says, no, thanks, I'm full.
No, thanks, I'm full. He laughs to himself.
I laughed at that. But we got to remember why he's drinking. Because he just won a court case, right?
Yes.
By being kind of sneaky, kind of underhanded, and basically being like, well, judge, if you want another appeal on your hands, we can just do this. And the judge is like, no, it's okay. You win. And then he gets back to the office. He thinks he's going to get like accolades from his boss. And his boss was like, that was some sneaky shit. And
Yeah.
actually, his boss says, oh God, what was it?
You need to
You're
learn
supposed to
teamwork.
win or
Yeah.
something. Oh, score, don't spike. That was it.
Yeah.
Score, don't spike. Because he was flaunting his win.
And you
And
would
then,
never, ever, ever hear that in a real lawyer's office.
not a chance. Unless they all worked for like, no, they'd all spike. They'd
Yeah.
all spike. But anyways, so he was butthurt about that. And then he decided to drink a beer while driving home.
Yeah. Back in the good old days. Well, no, he got arrested, so
This was after the good old days. I'm sorry.
yeah. Yeah, this is when the good old days were ending. And it wasn't cool to drink and drive anymore.
I know, right? God.
But is arrested for drunk driving, sentenced to 500 hours of community service by coaching the local District 5 Pee Wee hockey team. Yeah, he's not happy about that.
Also, I always thought Pee Wee hockey was like the younger kids. How old are these kids supposed to be? Because I don't know why, but I always think of Pee Wee hockey like immediately after Timbit hockey.
No.
No?
No.
How far does Timbit hockey go?
Pee Wee hockey is for it's for 11 and 12.
Oh, interesting. I always thought Pee Wee was for younger kids.
Well, you get no, the Timbits are like they're really young, and then you get mites.
Yeah.
They're 8-year-old squirts, Pee Wee, bantam, midgets, and then you start getting into
Squirts.
yeah, squirts.
Oh,
That's
that's
the
cute.
10-year-olds. Yeah.
Oh, Chisto says I think it's bantam before Pee Wee. Is that correct?
No, bantam's
Apparently
13
not.
to 14.
Yeah, it's okay. I had no idea. For
Go
some reason
back.
in my head, it's Timbits.
Go back
So
and watch your Full House.
we want the interaction, yo. We want the interaction. Anyways, so yeah, so he has to now coach the District 5 team.
The District 5 team. And I like the guy picking him up and driving out on the ice and the kids attacking the limo. And
yes, he's a bit of a douche to the kids. And he's like, go do your thing. I'm going to be in the car. And he gets on his car phone. Yes, 1992.
yeah.
Pours coffee out of a carafe and starts drinking it in the car. Then they attack the car. And I was like, yes. And then they all pile into the car, which I love.
Yeah.
And then Goldberg lets
farts.
one go.
Lets one rip and everyone runs out. As a youth in 1973, he was the Hawks star player. That's weird. But struggling with the loss of his father, would he be in 1973? Yeah, I guess that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Struggling with the loss of his father, he missed a tie-breaking penalty shot in the final seconds of this championship game, sending the game to overtime in which the Hawks lost, disappointing his hyper-competitive coach, Jack Riley. Bombay meets the team and realizes the children have no practice facility, no equipment or ability. Their first game with Bombay at the helm is against the Hawks, with Riley still the Hawks head coach. Yeah, so we get Emilio Estevez Bombay doesn't want to be there. The kids have no ability. They have no equipment.
None.
You can kind of see where this movie's going.
And also Coach Riley, 20 years later,
still looks pretty good.
Still looks exactly the same.
Like he looked 40, 50 in 1973.
And he still does.
Looks great.
He looks only a few years older than Emilio Estevez. And I'm like, guys, can you, like, I understand you wanted to have the same actor, but could you have darkened his hair or something? Because he even had the gray hair in the flashbacks.
Yeah, I think it was
like,
a little more gray.
Yeah, they had a little more gray. But I was like, why is he already going? Like, you got to make it look like he's a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old. Not that he's already in his 40s in 1973. But I was like, look at you looking exactly the same.
All right, where are we here? So they lose. Bombay, okay, so District 5 is defeated 17-0. That's a little high.
That hurt my heart, man. That hurt my heart. However, that first game really sets up, especially because the Hawks are like the best team. So it really like sets up just how bad District 5 is. Like they're like, "Nah, you need to know how shitty this team is." And they show us.
Yeah, they're beyond shitty.
They're beyond
Yeah.
shitty.
Riley demands the Hawks run up the score. Bombay berates the team for not listening to him, but the players challenge his authority. For the next match, Bombay tries to teach his team how to dive and draw penalties, which results in another loss, angering the team further. This is when like Goldberg sucks at he dives before the guy even touches him, stuff like that.
Yeah, when he's being shot, when they're trying to make a goal, that's when he dives, and it's
Yeah.
like nobody's even near you.
No.
What? And then Charlie also refuses to take a dive. He's like, "Nah, man.
Yeah,
Not gonna
Charlie
do it.
won't do it.
Not gonna cheat." Charlie's got values.
Then specifically one player, there we go, Charlie Conway, who
Mhm.
refused to fake an injury. Bombay visits his mentor Hans, who owns a nearby sporting goods store and was in attendance at the game against the Hawks. Bombay recalls that he quit playing hockey after losing his father 4 months before the championship game, and because Riley blamed him for the loss due to the missed penalty shot. Hans encourages him to rekindle his childhood passion for the sport by skating on a frozen pond like he did when he was a kid. Yeah, he told him to fly. Realizing the error of his ways, he apologized to Charlie and his mother at their home. Yeah,
And he stays for dinner.
and he stays for dinner.
And that's the beginning of the romance that has no romance to it.
No,
It was the most useless subplot ever. I was like, it never should have been in there.
no, I kind of get it because it's a couple subplots there, but yeah, it was kind of like he was just trying to bang Charlie's mom, and Charlie's mom was just looking like for a stepdaddy.
It was she was not just looking for a stepdaddy. Okay, she was not.
Yeah, she
Let's
wanted to bang too. I get it.
let's not besmirch Charlie's mom's name,
She
whatever it
wanted
might
a
be.
little
Wait,
piece
what
of
is her name?
Emilio.
It's Casey. We are not besmirching Casey's name. And everybody wanted a little piece of. Well, actually, no. In this movie, he's already started to, I think, get a little bit of work done. So I was like, Emilio, your face is not 1980s Emilio's face anymore. You were
No,
super cutie. But anyways, the love story super superfluous. Like there's
he was only
no
29 when he shot this.
shut up. No, he wasn't.
Yeah, because I went back to look. I'm like, what happened to? Because I remember watching a thing about Emilio Estevez and him saying that he wasn't getting more role offered
No,
anything,
yeah.
just nothing. But he was
If
only
you
29 when he shot this friggin' movie.
if you watch Brat, the Andrew McCarthy doc about
Yeah,
the
I
Brat
have to.
Pack,
Yeah, I gotta watch that.
honestly, he's in it and he's super honest about like the trajectory that his career took and the choices that he made. That kind of also helped it along in the direction that it went. It was so interesting. But anyways, that's besides the point. Thank you very much, Emilio Estevez, for your service in Hollywood. But yeah, so Gordon Bombay shows up at the Conway house, apologizes, and he decides he wants to make a go of this hockey team.
Yeah. So I'm just reading some of the comments. Yes, I agree. It was about Gore to get his confidence back. I think it's about him trying to prove himself to his dead dad. When you're a kid, no one cares. Yeah, we get it as adults, but when you're a kid watching this, you don't care about that.
Well, I think it's about finding the joy in what you love.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah, it's very easy to follow.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
that's the overarching theme, and then each character has their own like lesson or moral that they learn through this. So I really think the movie is just like find what you love and keep doing it no matter what.
yeah.
Because
And Slasher
Bombay,
Fred has saying that the movie is a reference to the classic movie The Bad News Bears. Yeah, with the rebel kids and asked to join. Yeah, this movie is just they took Bad News Bears and just kind of let's put them on skates.
there's a formula to it, a very simple formula, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because as long as you can make the formula entertaining, use it till it dies. Like I'm cool
I
with that.
I do remember liking the Bad News Bears with Billy Bob Thornton because he was such a
Honestly,
douche.
I'm pretty sure I saw it. I cannot confirm or deny it because I'm like, it sounds like it's living in my head somewhere, but Is it also the hero's journey? Cheese toast? Yes, it is also the hero's journey because if you we'll get to the ending, but when we get to the ending, that's when you kind of see that Gordon Bombay really was the hero of this movie. It was not the kids. And I almost think they do a disservice to his story. But that's besides the point.
Yeah.
But we'll get there.
Yeah,
Cheese
we'll
toast.
get yeah, because I have some thoughts on that too. Oop, don't know why I did that. Okay. So Bombay's trying to bang Charlie's mom. Where are we? Bombay recalls that he quit playing hockey after losing his father 4 months before the championship game,
Mhm.
and because Riley blamed him for the loss due to his missed penalty shot. I did this, didn't I? Yeah, Charlie and his mother at their home. Yes.
Yes.
Bombay convinces his boss, Gerald Ducksworth, to sponsor the team, allowing them to purchase proper equipment and give Bombay time to teach the players fundamentals. And yeah, when he's asked for the 15,000, this has to be the most expensive fucking sport for
Hockey is ridiculously expensive.
yeah, ridiculously expensive.
Ridiculously expensive. And that is why, for a very long time, there is a certain demographic of people that were the majority in these sports. And that is why there is an initiative now to open up the sport and make it more available to people of all socioeconomic backgrounds.
Ugh.
Shut up, man. Because you know what? That's where we're getting some really great hockey players that are coming up. It's not just the rich white guys. All right. Get over it, Jimmy. Get over it.
I played goalie.
Oh
I
my
was
God. You played goalie?
I was not good.
Oh, see, the good goalies are always just a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
And because they need that. You need that because you're putting yourself in front of like a racing puck. I don't know if I could do that.
Oh, it's not that
God
bad.
bless.
We have equipment on.
I believe you.
And I never really went anywhere with it. I played mostly for fun.
Ah, yes.
Partly because I sucked.
Partly or mostly.
Wasn't my entire choice. It had my skill level had something to do with it. Renamed the Ducks after Ducksworth, the team managed a tie in their next game.
Mhm.
That I like because they didn't make them just great right off the hop. They tied. That
Yes.
was a big win. They recruit 3 new players: figure skating siblings Tommy and Tammy Duncan,
Mhm.
and slapshot specialist and enforcer Fulton Reed.
Yes.
Bombay, seeing potential in Charlie's mom, seeing potential in Charlie, takes him under his wing and teaches him some of the tactics he used playing with the Hawks. And yes, of course, like any kid playing sports movie, you get them now he's actually teaching them something, and they're learning, like with the eggs, passing it,
Yes.
accept it, don't stop it, that type of thing, glide, all that crap, which was good because it's just, and again, every sports movie does that.
Yeah, they always start at the basics and they use the interesting ways of teaching it.
Yeah.
For the ones who aren't the naturally gifted ones. You're like, and this is what you and there's always that like it was kind of funny. They were playing with eggs. It's
Yep.
always fun when someone gets egged.
Yep. Bombay learns that due to redistricting, the Hawks star player Adam Banks actually lives in District 5 and should be playing for the Ducks, and threatens
Yep.
Riley into transferring Banks to the Ducks. Yeah, so the star player over at the Hawks has to come over and play with the Ducks.
And everybody acts like it's the biggest travesty in the world. Like there's something like catastrophically wrong with this. And you're like, yeah, okay, it sucks. The kid just wants to play hockey.
Well, at the end of the day, it's like he ends up showing up there and he tells Bombay that he's like, I just want to play hockey.
Yeah, he
I
just
just
wants
want
to
to
play
play.
hockey.
Yeah.
But it's funny because he shows up to play with the Ducks. And then we find out that his dad and Coach Riley are connected.
Oh, to Bombay's boss.
Yeah, to Bombay's boss. And then there's more backroom dealings.
Yeah. Which is weird because this was the guy, the lawyer that told Bombay that you got to have teamwork. You got to do this. It's not all about this. It's not all about winning.
It's not about winning at all
Yeah.
costs.
But, yeah. After overhearing an out of context quote about the team, most of the players walk out, except for Charlie and Fulton, who form a strong friendship, resulting in a forfeit to the Flames. The Ducks lose faith in Bombay and revert to their old habits, except Charlie and Fulton. Duckworth makes a deal with Riley for Hawks to keep Banks, which Bombay refuses on principles of fair play, which Duckworth berates him about when he started his community service. Left with the choice of letting his team down or being fired from his job, he takes the latter. Bullshit. I'd be like, fuck those kids.
See, and I would be like, fuck this job. Fuck this job. Mainly because I don't like the backroom. It wouldn't even be about like the, the hypocrisy of the situation. And I'd be like, no, I'm standing on my moral ground. I'd be like, no, no, no. Y'all went all behind my back to make this backroom deal. No, I refuse to take part and I'm just going to screw you all over because it's
See,
fun for me.
they'd be like, well, I'd be like, well, what about fair play? What about all this? And they'd be like, what about your job? Like, yeah, you can have. All right.
Fuck fair play.
Yeah.
What is this
Stupid.
fair play?
Yeah, kids. Bombay manages to regain his players' trust after they win a crucial match against the Huskies in order to qualify for the playoffs. Banks decides to play with the Ducks rather than not play hockey at all. The Ducks march through the playoffs and face the Hawks in the championship game. Yeah, and they go to Dallas. Yeah, it's gotten a little better, but back in the 80s and 90s, sports players couldn't act worth a shit. And
No.
Mike Modano and what was his name? What was the other guy's name?
I forget.
Whatever.
Oh, wait.
The defenseman.
Basil McRae?
Was it Basil McRae?
I don't know. He's got a credit in this movie.
Yeah,
We're going to
well,
go with that. Oh, yeah, yeah. No, it was him. It was him.
Yeah, they can't act worth shit. But yeah.
Yeah, so they went to go watch the North Star.
And it's weird that the one guy that comes out after they practice on the ice happened to be the guy that played with Bombay in Pee Wee hockey.
It's not that far-fetched.
And offers a 30-year-old man a tryouts in the minors.
Well, no, you got to remember one. Okay, the tryout in the minors, fucking weird.
Yeah, very weird.
Especially because this guy hasn't been on
at
skates.
This point. Yeah,
he hasn't been on skates in like 20 years. You think he's still got it? That's adorable.
How many hockey players in their 40s do you know playing? Not a lot.
Not a lot, no.
I remember Chris Chelios was like 42, 43, and he was considered ancient.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah,
we have a 40-something-year-old on the Leafs. I think Reeves is in his 40s.
Yeah, but going to start in the minor, yeah, it was a weird thing.
To go and start in the minors, no, that's super weird.
I wonder if they addressed it at number 2.
Oh, God, no. Ryan Reeves is 37. My apologies, Reeves. My apologies. I thought you were 40.
Oh, Slasher Fred said actually when I was on Disney Plus looking for the stupid movie, I saw D2, D3, the TV show and the animated show, which I totally forgot about, the Alien Ducks. Yeah, I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure I watched the animated show, but I couldn't tell you what it was about.
No. I know they had skates and helmets and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Super weird that he got offered a spot, but recognizing someone, like, honestly, if you're super good, you would have played Pee-wee at some point. Like, they tend to follow the progression. So if they're from the same area, you'd recognize the people who are in the hockey community because it is a pretty tight community.
Yeah.
Everybody knows everybody, and the drama.
Oh, hockey's ridiculous. Hockey parents are ridiculous.
Hockey parents and like the behind the scenes politics, so dramatic.
It's because every parent thinks their kids are going to the NHL.
Fuck yes, they do.
Only 0.08% of the kids actually make it to the NHL. For the rest of the 99.2, 0.02, your kid sucks.
I mean,
and they think their kid's the next Gretzky, and they're not. They fucking blow. Get over it. Oh, I would love to go to hockey games and just berate parents of the other team, and the ones on my kids' team.
I know some hockey moms, God bless, and they tell me about all the drama that happens like at the rink, and I'm like, I want to go to these games and these
Oh,
practices because my God, it's like watching a telenovela.
oh, we'd go to friends' games when we were in high school in the '90s and stuff, and parents would be screaming at each other or just yelling at the ref.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it's
can get
awesome.
intense.
It's awesome.
Oh, yeah, no, it's fully entertaining for me because I've got no skin in the game. So I'm like, fantastic. Let's do this. I want to see you go crazy. Anyways,
Riley orders his team to injure Banks to force him out of the game. In spite of this, the Ducks manage to tie the game late in the final period, and Charlie is tripped by the Hawks player as the time expires. They spent a lot of time on this game, which was fine because the first period, I think it's 3-0, isn't it?
yeah, I think it was 3-0. And then they managed. Here's the thing about this movie. I thought there was more hockey than there actually was.
Hmm.
There was a lot less hockey than I remember there being. There was enough of this game so you could really follow along and it felt like you were involved in the game. So it was like a really good highlights reel. It was it was good. I was kind of pissed that this fucking coach was all like, "Hey, hurt this child." So he's out of the game. Then he ends up unconscious, the poor kid.
Yeah.
He like was thrown into the net. And I'm like, that is not okay. That's some fucked
Yeah.
up shit.
And
And
this
then
is where we also get the spinning. No, I think that was another game, but it was in the playoffs.
mm,
The spinning
it was this one.
figure skating.
She does a figure skating spin, which apparently distracts everybody,
Oh God.
and then they
And
score.
the
She
V,
scores.
the flying
Ugh, the
V.
flying V. I literally made a note and I was like,
So
the flying
dumb.
V is the most useless and ineffectual play, but I still love it. Like I love it. It would never work in a real life hockey game.
And I
Never.
remember back then we were like, "Oh, are the Anaheim Mighty Ducks gonna do the flying V?" They
Really?
didn't.
Because I was more like Anaheim Mighty Duck. Why are they giving Anaheim mind you, I kept forgetting just how old the San Jose
Oh
Sharks were.
yeah, yeah,
I saw one of them wearing a sweatshirt, and I was like, in the movie, and I was like, "Oh my god, did they already exist in 1992? What the
yeah.
fuck?" But yeah, I was like, but I have trouble accepting that warmer climates have hockey teams for some reason. Like it's a block, and I'm like, my logical brain knows that they have indoor rinks,
Hmm.
but my weird Canadian brain is like, if it doesn't freeze outside, how do you play hockey?
Yeah.
Makes no sense to me, but I'm gonna run with it. Anyways, so that's what they managed to tie the game.
Yes, and Charlie is tripped by a Hawks player as the time has expired. Now, and the ref actually comes over and says, "Anyone can take it." And I'm like, "No, the guy who gets fucking tripped has to take it." But they wanted to do this whole.
Was it a tripping or was it a hooking? It looked like
Well,
hooking to me.
Wikipedia said trip, but I think you're right. I think they
Yeah,
were actually, yeah,
it was a hook,
yeah, yeah.
but that's fine.
So everyone is saying everybody but Charlie. And then
Mhm.
Bombay is like, I think Charlie should take it. And all the other kids are like, I wish the coach was fucking my mom so I could fucking take the penalty shot.
But you also gotta remember early in the movie, they call him Spazway
Yeah, because he was a good player, but when he couldn't
to a
shoot
certain
worth a
point.
shit.
He was a good player to a certain point, then all of a
Yeah.
sudden he would just lose his ability. It literally went up into the ether.
Yeah, because in the early game, he's watching. He goes, "Oh, hey, look, this player's good," and he's deking and
Yeah,
he's got it. And the kid's like, "Oh, no way, that's Spaz.
yeah.
He's gonna mess it up," and he
So
did.
this is where we get introduced to the flying V, the distractions of figure skating, and also the 1, 2, 3 deke.
Oh yeah, yeah, yep. But I
Which
mean,
if
it
I'm
is a
not
kids
mistaken,
movie.
it is a kids movie.
Yeah, it is a kids movie, so I'm not too mad at it.
I'm not either, but it's real like I feel kind of bad for the kids who watched this movie and then wanted to start hockey and then they were like, "This is how you play."
Yeah, this isn't like the movie at all. This is really hard work.
Why are they making me skate back and forth at the rink?
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna puke.
Where are the eggs?
I want to die. Yeah, where are the eggs? Charlie prepares for a game-deciding penalty shot. In stark contrast to Riley, Bombay tells Charlie to take his best shot and that he will believe in him no matter what. He's really trying to lay it on thick to bang this kid's mom. Inspired, Charlie fakes out the goalie with the triple deke.
Uh-huh.
Bombay taught him and scores the winning the championship. And I thought, oh, okay, the movie's over. No, it's got like 10, 15 minutes left. This is where I'm getting angry now. Several days later, Bombay boards a bus to minor league tryout. And he's like, I'm going to be facing kids half my age. I'm like, you're fucking 30. What are you going to fucking Bantam or whatever we decided was not playing against 15-year-olds.
No, but he would be playing against
He would be playing like
18-year-olds.
17 and 18-year-olds.
17,
Yeah.
18-year-olds. Could
Yeah.
you imagine?
No, they would just skate around him and
Oh my God, 100%.
make them their bitch. Secured for him by, yeah, you're right, Basil McRae of the Minnesota North Stars, who played Pee Wee hockey with him as a youth. Although daunted at the prospect of going up against younger players, he received the same words of encouragement and advice from the Ducks he had given them, promising to return next season to defend their title. And then he kind of like gropes Charlie's mom. Everyone's going, ugh, the hell, and gets on the bus. And that is our movie.
Yes, it is.
Okay, what is your score?
Okay. For me, it's a conditional buy.
Ooh.
Here's the condition.
It's free. You found it on the sidewalk.
No. The conditional buy is if you have kids in your life, this is a great movie that both of you can enjoy. Is it sickeningly sweet? Yes. Does it tend towards younger ages? Yes. Are there still jokes that adults will laugh at? Yes. It's also a classic underdog story. You see this team of kids who have nothing and really, really suck it at hockey. And they get better and they get the resources that they need. And they're not all of a sudden the greatest, but they catch enough lucky breaks that they manage with a little bit of training to do very well. And I think it has a great story. It has a great morale. It has several morales, but the overarching, you know what, if you keep working at it and you stick with something, you will get benefits from it, depending on what those benefits are. But it's not just winning is not the ultimate goal. It's enjoying yourself and getting better at something and sticking with something. And I think that's something that kids and a lot of adults too need to be reminded of. It was a fun watch. There was a lot of nostalgia. I think if you're, no, don't get me wrong, I would buy it by myself. I have no kids, and my niece and my nephew are much older now. But I love this movie because I love a good underdog sports movie. So I would buy it. But I think for the general public, it's better if you have young people in your life. This is a fun, nice movie that the family can watch together. And there's very little in there that is super offensive or makes it uncomfortable to watch with like various ages. I think it's a good family fun movie. So I'm saying buy for the general public with a condition. Me, I would 100% buy it. What's your review?
Okay, I would not buy it, but I agree with you. And this movie is exactly why I have Disney Plus. Because there are so many movies on Disney Plus that I remember liking. I have a bunch of kids in this friggin' house, and I'm willing to pay whatever it is they're charging me to have access to all of these movies.
Mm-hmm.
And my 7-year-old did enjoy it. She laughed at the potty humor, the fart humor, all that stuff was funny to her. And she watched the whole thing. So yeah, I would say stream it. By myself, I am not watching. I love Emilio Estevez. I'm not watching this movie. And yeah, but it's not a horrible movie. Oh, what did I do?
Oh, you froze.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you are.
It's not a horrible movie by any stretch of the means, but it is very, very 90s.
Oh, yeah.
and not like Quentin Tarantino 90s. This is more on the TJIF 90s. Forget how wholesome the 90s wanted to be, but the music was cool. Not all of it. And we did get action movies and we did get horror movies, but yeah, the 90s were a different decade. And
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I didn't hate watching it. A lot of nostalgia. But you're right. If you have kids, this is a great movie to watch. Especially if you don't want to explain anything weird. It's just a family-friendly movie. But this is exactly why I have Disney Plus. So I say stream it.
Yeah, now I want to watch the next 2 sequels.
I don't know if I want.
That's fine. You don't have to.
I'm interested in the new TV series with Emilio Estevez.
I will probably watch the sequels, then watch the TV series because I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, because I think he's in season 1.
Yeah.
And he's gone.
And then he's gone.
Yeah. They
And
didn't
I'm
want
like,
him again.
Is it that they didn't want him or he didn't want to come back? He was like, that's enough, Mighty Ducks. Thank you.
Okay, so what did this movie do right?
Okay. I'm trying to think of how to say this. It did its level of innocence right.
Yeah, and if you're watching, by all means, comment
Yeah.
in.
Comment in, let us know what you think this movie did right. I think it kept it kind of at an 11, 12-year-old level for 1992.
Yeah.
Now, today's 11 and 12-year-olds, no. Today's 7 and 8-year-olds, maybe.
Yeah, it's so sad.
I know. It's just because, today's kids have a lot more information available to them and they are consuming more media and more stuff. So, like, this is great for younger kids now.
Yeah.
But it is really one of those movies that I think this really is one of those movies that I think kids and parents
I
can
thought I
all
told her to
watch
leave.
together. No, Cheese Toast stays forever. But this is one of those movies that the entire family can watch, and there's something for the adults, there's something for the kids. And I'm sure there's like a 40-year-old mom or 50-year-old mom out there who's sitting there looking and going like, Emilio Estevez, he looked real good in this movie. Remember Young Guns? And then they're going to start Googling. That's what I think they did well. I think they made a really great family movie.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you make a really great kids movie and you forget the parents, you forget the older kids, and also it's a really good underdog sports movie.
Yeah.
And Cheese Toast says this movie is flawless and did everything right, 12 out of 10. Thank you, Cheese Toast. I don't know if I'd give it a full 12, but it is definitely very high up there and I still loved it.
I think they just took a very tried and true formula and followed it to a T, and then added a bunch of sugar and candy and on top. And yeah, what did the movie do wrong?
I think the characterizations were a little too stark. Like when Bombay is bad, he is like an uber douche, but he didn't really have time. You don't see the change. You don't see the midpoint. He
It's
just kind of
almost
goes,
instantaneously. Like, as
yeah,
soon as he went skating.
it was uber douche. He went skating, one comment, and then he's like, and I am a wholesome coach. And
Yeah.
you're like, that felt really quick. But you kind of forgive it because you're like, kids movie, like, but then you're like, who are we following? Like, this is supposed to be his story. And ultimately, the way they chose to end the movie, you realize that he is the hero of the story. And it is about his journey. And you're like, you kind of ripped me off in the middle of his journey. Like, you see the change, but it kind of happens too quick. I think they did that. Also, the Coach Riley, too much of an archetype, like too much. I'm like, if he had just done it's okay, son, I am sure next time you've got to do better or something like that, where it's like kind of nice, but kind of not. But he was just pure villain. And I was like, who the fuck follows a coach and says, yeah, good job, when he's like, go ahead, hurt that 11-year-old, hurt that 12-year-old. And all the kids are like, high five. And Banks's dad is still wearing the Hawks jacket. I'm like, the fuck? The adults in this movie are not the greatest examples. I'll
No.
put that there.
And I think there are some movies because while I didn't hate this movie, it's not my favorite movie.
Mm.
I think a lot of movies that came after this did a little. I Billy Bob Thornton, The Bad News Bears. I remember liking. I remember Kicking and Screaming with Robert
Mm.
Duvall and Will Ferrell. I remember liking that. But it's more of a natural progression of these
Yeah.
mean, douchey, and they don't become overly great people by the end, but they have made some
Yeah.
change. Where this was just he threw on those skates and he was this wholesome do-gooder coach right after that. But it's a kids movie, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, 8-year-olds are not watching this and being like, I feel like there needs to be more character development. That's just my film school.
Yeah.
Let's write a movie review kind of vibe. That's me.
Yeah. So that was Mighty Ducks 1992. All right. Well, thank you for joining us and going back to 1992 to review The Mighty Ducks. Tell us what you think of the movie below. And join us next week where we're going to watch a review, The Colony from 2013. All right. Is there anything else? No.
No, I don't think so.
We had a buy it, a stream it.
Yes.
But it wasn't a horrible stream it. It was.
No, it was just you
Yeah.
probably won't want to
Yeah.
spend money on this. And that's
Yeah. I don't want
okay.
to spend. Anna wants to spend money. It's her
I do
money.
want to spend money on this.
She can do what she wants with it.
That's right. That's right. I can.
Look at the shit movies I have behind me.
Thank you, Cheese Toast. Thank you for joining us. And
Yes,
same thing
thank
to
you.
Slasher Fred and to Stefan Robert. We appreciate you, or Robert. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for contributing in the comments. We appreciate it. And it was a good time.
Yeah. And until the next movie we remember liking.
Congratulations. You just had one of your childhood movie memories vindicated. Or they just eviscerated it. I don't know. This is a generic one-size-fits-all type of ending to the podcast. So thank you for listening, and please join Anna and Jimmy next time for another episode of the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. If you dare to go back and watch that movie you remember liking,